Hello everybody, and welcome back to Mrs. Scott's R Classroom. We're going to do a little bit more work with the open mouth R's, and I'm also going to make another video if you feel like you've gotten the R at the beginning of the word, some tricks to getting it to turn into a vocalic R, excuse me. All right, so let's review. When we're working on open mouth R's, we do not close our jaw because our jaw can change how tight our tongue can get and where our tongue goes. We're not going to move our lips because, again, it's not the lips' job, it's not the jaw's job. That's a mouthful. It is our tongue's job to get where it needs to go. And the less we have going on here, the more our tongue will be working. So again, I have that Jamboard labeled open mouth R words, and there's a variety. There's R at the beginning, R in blends, R in vocalic positions at the beginning of the word, R, like arrow, carry, hurry. But open jaw, lips don't move. Again, you can use something to hold your jaw open, like a cracker. I've been using the Dum Dum lollipops with my friends. I don't want to open one right now. So we're gonna start right at the beginning, and I'll just kind of move around and show you what I want it to look like. So when you're working on this, I think it's best that you look in the mirror while you do it, because if you're just doing it with a family member or sitting in your room, you're not really going to get the full effect. Are you going to know if your jaw is open and your lips aren't moving without seeing it? Probably not. Also, it would be a good idea if you have the ability to record yourself with a video like this. That way I'm able to hear myself doing it, I'm able to see myself doing it, and I'm able to feel it the whole time. So if I say rock, I can see I did not open my jaw. I moved my lips for rock. We're gonna do rock. Now, some of these are going to feel very strange to do because some of the other sounds in the word are gonna require our tongue to come up. Just do your best. All right, red. So that was tricky not to go d, duh. But it's also going to emphasize all the sounds in the word too. So I'm asking you to do something silly, but I promise there's a good reason for it. All right, this is going to be tricky for me because it's got an S, and we don't open our mouth for S, but syrup. So that one's tricky for me. Crack. As I think I've mentioned in previous videos, the k sound and the g sound are good to mix with R because you're already back there, and with E because your tongue is bunching back or retroflexing back, however you say your R. Crack. My lips didn't move, my jaw's staying open. Care. And I was also having a conversation with a friend this week about how different our mouths are, because we were doing that and my tongue is very wide, and my mouth goes very far back, but his tongue is very narrow. It doesn't push forward very far, and it doesn't go back very far because his mouth is just smaller. I mean, he's a kid and I'm an adult, but everybody's tongue is going to be a different shape. That's why it's important to play around with these sounds to really get a feel for what's going on in your mouth, where your tongue needs to go, and where your tongue can't reach. You might not be able to go as far back as I do, but the further back, the better it's going to be, and the easier it's going to be able to give it that tension. All right, ring. Did you see how my tongue is going back and then forward for the ing? Ring. You can really see my bunched R then. Arrow. So my lips are rounding a little bit, but I'm trying to keep them open. Arrow. Did you see my tongue go back? Arrow. And how far back it needs to get. Rug. It's so hard to get a good visual of it. Rug. Do you see how my tongue's going up and down? G. It has to go up for R, down for up for G. G. Rain. That one's hard too for the Excuse me. Read. getting a pretty good visual of how far back my tongue is going for R. So while we do this, recap what your tongue needs to be doing. It needs to be, the base needs to be going back. Remember we talked about if, and you never would, I repeat, you never would. Keep a marble in the back of your throat, and you'd hold it there with your tongue. And then the sides, excuse me, the sides of your tongue are going to touch these molars, and it's going to go up and sink down in the middle like a canoe. And the tongue tip is going to be different for everybody. Either it's going to bunch back, the bunched R, or the tongue tip's going to come up. I do the bunched. You might do I don't even think I can get my tongue tip to go up because I do the bunched R so effectively. I'm trying to get it up, but my tongue's very wide, so it's easier for it to bunch. All right, we're going to do a few more, and then I'm going to start another video. Gray. Gray. We could say the clouds are gray because it's going to rain. Rain. So if you think about our tongue, just the slightest movement can make a huge, huge impact. So when I say the s, my tongue's right behind my teeth. When I say the sh, they open up a little bit, my tongue goes back, and my lips round. And it goes from sh, the whole sound changes. So just the little bit of change for R, a little bit further back, the sides of the tongue up a little bit more can make such an impact. So I just want you to keep practicing. So I know it can be so frustrating when you keep trying, you're doing everything I'm saying, and you're still not getting that R, but we will get it. And you also have to keep in mind, if you have large tonsils or something in the back, that can impact how far back and how tight you can get as well. So if you've had a history of strep throat or throat infections, or a lot of allergies, that can impact it too. So we're just going to do our very best. A couple minutes a day practice. This is not something you can sit down once a week and work on. It's really something you have to put in your daily life. It's such a difficult sound, and so many of our words have them in it. You really have to get used to making your tongue go into the right position and really thinking about how many R's are we saying in our words. There's so many. Of course it had to be the most difficult sound, right? But I know you can do it. You're doing great.